Hello students, I hope all of you are fine. Today we are going to discuss our unit 4. You might be thinking why this video at this time. We need to cover our syllabus, so I am sending you extra video. Okay, I am sending you extra video. So here we will complete our syllabus. Okay students? Okay, so what we will discuss today, that is unit 4 and its exercise. Also unit 4 poem also today we will finish. Okay, so what is unit 4? That is an Indian American woman in space, Kalpana Chawla. You might be heard about astronaut, correct? You might have heard about astronaut. So what astronaut do, that they go in a sky, in a space, and they do researches, right? So here our Indian astronaut was there. Okay, she was, because she died in one crash. So we will discuss about Kalpana Chawla life. Why it says Indian American, that also we will see. Okay, so let's begin. I think screen is little big, so let me make it small. Yeah, this one will be fitting. Yeah, this one will fit properly. So let's see one by one. Before we start, in 1997, an Indian American Kalpana Chawla was part of the international crew aboard the US Space Shuttle. So Kalpana Chawla was a part of US Space Shuttle, Columbia, becoming the first woman born in India to go into space. So India's first woman who went in space name is Kalpana Chawla. Sadly, the second mission in Colombia ended in tragedy. Right. So, in a second mission, when Kalpana Chawla went, that time one tragedy happened. What it is, that we will discuss. Okay. So, let's begin with an Indian American woman in a space, Kalpana Chawla. So, before our part starts, there are a few notes are there. A space shuttle is a spacecraft that is made for repeated space travel, unlikely a rocket. For example, between Earth and space station. Okay, what we call it a space shuttle. So, space shuttle, it is a spacecraft. It is not aircraft. Okay, it is a spacecraft which goes in a space, and it can travel repeatedly. Okay, and for example, you can see Earth and space between it will travel. Okay, like it is unlike a rocket, right? Because rocket we cannot use once it is launched. Okay, but spacecraft we can use. Okay, okay. Use a dictionary to do the task below. We need to use a dictionary to do this task. Find out the meaning of following words and phrases. See here, some words are given. Naturalized US citizen, space, frontiers of space, aboard, lift off or take off, and crew. So you need to find out what are the meaning of this. What you need to find out what are the meaning of these words. Okay, and what is the difference between lift off and take off. Okay, so let me show you. I have prepared somewhat. Try to find out by yourself. Okay, naturalize means admit a foreigner to the citizenship of country. That means Kalpana Chawla was born in India, but now she is a citizen of US. So that kind of, we call it as a naturalized, admitted to the citizenship of a country. Space, you know, the area around everything that exists continuing in all direction, that we call it as a space. Frontiers means a border between two countries, like India and China as a border, right? So that is a frontiers we call. Abroad, sorry, aboard. That is on or onto a ship, aircraft, bus, or train. We call it as a aboard. Liftoff means the action of a spacecraft or rocket leaving the ground, that we call it as a liftoff. And what is the meaning of takeoff? If an aircraft, bird, or insect takes off, it leaves the ground and begins to fly. So, spacecraft leaves the ground, spacecraft or rocket, that we call it as a liftoff, and bird, aircraft, that we call it as a takeoff. That is the difference. Crew, the people who work on a ship or aircraft, etc., those we call it as a who are not officers. We call it them as a crew. Cabin crew you might have heard, right? For aircraft. Okay. So let's see. Notice the spelling of these words in this lesson. Airplane and program. This is how these words are spelled in American English. How are they spelled in a British English? Okay. So how it is spelled in British English, that we need to say. And this airplane and program are American English. Okay, students. Okay. So let's see our a news report. You see the news report. Tragedy in a space. US space shuttle Columbia break into flames. An unprecedented space tragedy, US space shuttle Columbia carrying Indian-born American astronaut Kalpana Chawla and six others broke apart in flames as it trekked over Texas toward its landing strip on Saturday, 1st February 2003, killing all seven on board. So, all seven died in that crash. And what date? Saturday, 1st February 2003. Okay. The shuttle lost contact with NASA at about 9 a.m. That is 9:30 hours IST as it came in for landing. While landing, this tragedy happened. It was flying at an altitude of over 2 lakh feet. It was flying over 2 lakh feet and traveling at over 20,000 km per hour when ground control lost contact with the shuttle. That was the speed and altitude. Height. Height was 2 lakh feet and the speed was 20,000 km per hour. Okay. Columbia had lifted off on 16 January 2003 from the Kennedy Space Center, Florida. It had stayed in orbit for 16 days and the 7-member crew conducted 80 experiments before it began its downward journey, which ended in tragedy. This was Columbia's 28th space flight and the shuttle was said to be good for 100 flights. Okay, so here what happened? Columbia space shuttle lifted off when 16 January 2003. Okay, and it stayed in orbit 16 days. 80 experiments has been done by the crew. And Columbia's 28th space flight was there when Kalpana went. And that space shuttle was able to do 100 flights. Okay. So let's see our part. First phrase. Kalpana Chawla said that she never dreamed as a child in Colonel that she would cross the frontier of space. It was enough that her parents allowed her to attend engineering college after she graduated from Tagore School. So Kalpana educated from Tagore School. And her parents allowed her to attend engineering. Okay. And Kalpana was from Karnal. Okay. Here you can see Karnal. Okay. Now let's see phrase 2. After a bachelor science degree in aeronautical engineering, against great opposition from her father, she went for a master degree to United States of America. She later earned her PhD in aerospace engineering. Kalpana Chawla was the first Indian American woman astronaut to blast off from the launch pad at Cape Canaveral, Florida, and participate in a successful mission in space. Her family from India cheered along with staff at Kennedy Space Center as they watched the Columbia lift off. You can see the image of Kalpana Chawla. Okay. So, what happened that after Bachelor of Science degree, she earned this degree in aeronautical engineering against great opposition from her father. Her father was not willing to let her go for master degree, but she went against her father and got a master degree from United States of America, and she later earned PhD degree in aerospace engineering. Okay, Kalpana Chawla was the first Indian American woman astronaut that I have already told you to blast off the launch pad at Cape Canaveral, Florida, and participate in a successful mission in a space. And she had a successful mission. Her family from India cheered along with the staff also, and Kennedy Space Center as they watched the Columbia lift off. Okay. Kalpana was born in Karnal, Haryana, but was naturalized US citizen, married to flight instructor Jane Perry Harrison. Okay, what happened? Kalpana was born in Karnal, Haryana, and she got a citizenship of US country, and she married to a flight instructor Jane Perry Harrison. Besides being an astronaut, she was licensed by fly single and multi-engine land airplanes, single-engine seaplanes, and gliders. She had a license of single-engine, multi-engine land airplanes, single-engine seaplanes, and gliders. She was also a certified flight instructor. She had a certification of flight instructor also. Okay. After qualifying as a pilot, Kalpana began to consider another challenge applying to NASA Space Shuttle program. She was first hired as a research scientist at NASA. In 1994, she was selected by NASA for training as an astronaut. Okay. First, she joined as a research scientist in a NASA. And in 1994, she got selected as a training as an astronaut. Okay, NASA for training as an astronaut. Okay, now see phrase 4, that is this one. Okay, when asked what it was like being a woman in her field, she replied, I really never ever thought while pursuing my studies or doing anything else that I was a woman or person from small city or a different country. I pretty much had my dreams like anyone else and I followed them, and people who were around me fortunately always encouraged me and said, if that's what you want to do, carry on. Okay. So when asked what it was being like when we have taken an interview of Kalpana Chawla and what do you feel like that way, they asked what she replied that I really never ever thought while pursuing my study or doing anything. So I have never thought that I will be in this position. I have just followed my dreams and in a surrounding whomever person are there, they have encouraged me to keep going on or carry on. Okay, they have not demoralized. Like that way she replied. The fifth phrase, Kalpana's first space mission in the space shuttle Columbia was 15 days, 16 hours and 34 minutes long. During this time, she went around the Earth 252 times, traveling 10.45 million kilometers. The crew included a Japanese and a Ukrainian astronaut. The crew performed experiments such as pollinating plants to observe food growth in space and test for making stronger metals and faster computer chips, all for a price tag of about $56 million. So what was the Kalpana's first mission? That Colombia, that was her first mission. And how long it was? That it was 15 days, 16 hours and 34 minutes long. That much long it was. During this time, she went around 250 times to the earth and traveled 10.45 million kilometers. Okay. The crew included a sorry. So in what other crews are there? Who are there? They are Japanese and Ukrainian astronauts, and they have performed different experiments, that is pollinating plants to observe food growth in a space, how food is growing in a space, and test for making stronger metals, how we can make a stronger metals and faster computer chips. So all of this observation they have done, and the price was this space traveling, that is $56 million. That much costly it was. Okay, how much? $56 million. Okay, so let's see phrase 6. That is, on the Saturday night when the news about the Colombia disaster broke, there was a shock and disbelief. When this news came, everyone was in a shock and they are not able to believe this thing. They are believing, right? They are not agreeing with that thing. But it was a sad news, right? You can see the space shuttle of NASA Colombia, right? So let's see. The town of Colonel spent a sleepless night as a thousand stayed glued to their television sets in the hope that Kalpana and the crew had somehow survived. Okay, so thousand was watching the TV where in a Colonel at our hometown, and everyone watching a TV like they have stick to the TV glued. Okay, whether there is a chance that Kalpana and its crew, her crew, whether they have survived or died. Okay, they were watching this thing continuously on TV. Okay, and one journalist wrote something about her. Okay, what he wrote, journalist, that she was a heroine. It takes enormous ability to become an astronaut. You need to know a lot about everything from the biology to astrophysics to aeronautical engineering. In this age of super specialization, you must have encyclopedic knowledge to be an astronaut. Her achievement is awe-inspiring. Okay, the journalist wrote that her inspiration is very inspiring. Okay, because why, if you want to be astronaut, you should have a knowledge of these three things: biology, astrophysics, and aeronautical engineering. And in that small age, she had all the knowledge of it. Okay, so that's why she was a heroine. Let's see phrase 7. What it says that 4 millions of young Indians, the story of Kalpana Chawla, a girl from a small town who touched the skies, had become an inspiration. In a message that she sent up aboard the space shuttle Columbia to students of her college in Chandigarh, Kalpana said, "The path from dreams to success does exist. May you have the vision to find it, the courage to get on it. Wishing you a great journey. There will surely be many who start off and on this journey to fulfill their dreams." Okay, so while going on a Columbia flight, sorry, not a flight, Columbia space shuttle, She gave a message to all Indian students and her college students. What she gave? That I hope that all of you finds your dream. Okay, that the path of dream to success does exist. And she was telling that there is a path for your dream, it exists. And I hope you all have that vision to find out. Okay, and the courage to get on it. And wishing you a great journey, like that way she said while awarding the Columbia Space Shuttle. This is adapted from Span January February 1998. Okay, the story is adapted from Span January and February 1998. Okay, so what moral we learn here? If you had a dream, if you have a dream, you need to work on it. Then you will get a success in your future. Okay, that's what this chapter says. That you should follow your dreams, and that should be good dream, not like you want to harm someone. That is not your motive. Okay, your motive is to get a success in your life. To get success in your life. So, if you want to fulfill that dream, you need to work on that. Okay, that's what this chapter says to us. Okay, so let's see some exercise of it. Working with the text. Answer the following question. Where was Kalpana Chawla born? Why is she called an Indian American? When and why did she go to US? Who did she marry? And all the till 6 there is a question. Okay, I have prepared the solution. So let me show you how to write. First question. Where was Kalpana Chawla born? Why is she called an Indian American? Kalpana Chawla was born in Karnal, a district of state Haryana. Though she was born and brought up in India, after she went to US and she became its naturalized citizen. This is the reason why she was called an Indian American. Okay, let's see further. That question 2. When and why did she go to the US? Who did she marry? She went to US for a master's degree after completing her Bachelor of Science degree in Aeronautical Engineering. There she married flight instructor Jane Perry Harrison. Okay. How did she become an astronaut? What gave her the idea? Question 3 is there. How did she become an astronaut? What gave her the idea that she could be an astronaut? After qualifying as a pilot, Kalpana Chawla applied to NASA Space Shuttle program. She was first hired as a research scientist at NASA. In 1994, she was selected at NASA for training as an astronaut. It was her success as a pilot which gave her the idea that she could become an astronaut. Right? So, this is how you can write the answer. Let's see further, that is question number 4. What abilities must an astronaut have according to the journalist? So according to the journalist, it takes enormous ability to be an astronaut. So lots of abilities you should have. An astronaut must know a lot about everything from biology to astrophysics to aeronautical engineering. All three things you should know. In this age of super specialization, you must have encyclopedic knowledge to be an astronaut. So, two vast knowledge you should have. Then only you can be astronaut. Okay. Describe Kalpana Chawla's first mission in a space. So, we need to describe the Kalpana Chawla's first mission. So, let's see. Kalpana Chawla's first mission was in a space shuttle Columbia, right? That we have seen. And it was a 15 days, 16 hours and 34 minutes long, right? During this time, she went around the earth 252 times, traveling 1.4 million kilometer. Okay. Sorry, my mistake. I have wrote unfortunately wrong. It has to be 10.45 million kilometer. How long? 12 for 10.45 million kilometer. The crew perform experiments such as pollinating plants to observe food growth in space. It also made tests for making stronger metals and faster computer chips. It was all done for price tag of $56 million. Right? This is how you can write it. Okay. Let's see question number 6. What it is that what does Kalpana Chawla say about pursuing a dream? Do you agree with her that success is possible? So she gave some thoughts about, right? She gave an opinion about her dream. So let's see that one. The answer we can write is Kalpana Chawla said the path from dreams to success does exist. May you have the vision to find it and the courage to get on it. Yes, success is possible if a person has the strong willpower, right? If you want to get succeed, then you should have a strong willpower. That means you if you want to do that, you should have ability to do that much hard work. Determination, guts to face the challenges that come while chasing one's dream, then everything is possible. Okay, this is how you can write the answer. Okay, so let's see further what it says in our exercise that read the newspaper report. The newspaper report is there already, right? In starting, and to find following facts about the Columbia ill-fated voyage. Okay, what is the tragedy happened? We need to find date and place of flip. That was, I think, Saturday, 1st February 2003. Number of astronauts on board 7. Number of days it stayed in space 16. Number of experiments done by scientists 80. Date of return journey I don't remember exactly what it was. It was 1st February 2003 and date of lift off is was around 16 January 2003. That was my mistake. I have made replace the date. So date of place of lift is 16 January 2003 in okay, from Kennedy, Florida. Okay, and height at which it lost contact, that was around 2 lakh feet, right? So let me show you how to write it. Okay, what are the answer is there? Yeah, 16 January 2003 it was lifted from Kennedy Space Center, Florida. 7 member was there. 16 days it took. 80 experiments has been done. And Saturday 1st February 2003 journey was ended and 2 lakh feet it was when they lost the contact. Okay, so this is how you can write the answer. Let's see further exercise that working with a language. Now we are working with a language. So what we need to do in this task, match the following. What we need to do? We need to match the following. So what we are going to match? Unprecedented space tragedy. And what can be the answer? A person with something that cause feeling respect and wonder, having knowledge of what nowadays in this time. So we need to match which one is the appropriate with that. So find out which one is the correct one. So unprecedented space tragedy, a sad accident of kind that has never happened before in a space. That can be the correct, right? So that we can connect, I think so. So on my opinion, I will do this one is the first. Okay. Probably that should be the first answer. Okay. Yeah. That one is the correct. Certified flight instructor. So that means you have a certification of flight instructor. So what can be the answer? That a person with the correct qualification to teach people to fly planes. That will be the right answer. And space mission. Okay, what we will do here, let me correct the answer. Yeah, let me write it down for you. So here, this one is the first. This one will be the second. Space mission. That means what is the meaning of space mission? That is a set of jobs to be done in a space by group. So this will be our third one. Super specialization. That means you have a good knowledge or good capability. So great expertise in a limited field or particular job, that we call it as a super specialization. You have a good knowledge in one particular field. That will be the answer. And encyclopedic knowledge. That means having a knowledge of wide variety of subject. That can be the answer. Right? If you know the meaning, you can give the answer. Awe-inspiring. That means something that cause feeling respect and wonder. That will be the answer. This one will be the sixth. And in this age, there is nowadays in this time, that will be last answer. Right? So these are the answer you can select. So let me show you here in a PPT also what to write. Yeah, you can see here I have selected the correct answer. F, E, D, G, B, A, C. Right? So you can write this way. So let's see further what it will see. Further exercise. What it there? Use this phrase in a sentence of your own after finding out their meaning. First, you need to find out the meaning. Broke apart, struck over, spread across, lifted off, blast off, went off, cheered along, on board, carry on. Okay, what we need to do? We need to find the meaning of it and we need to write this sentence of our own. Whatever the sentence we find, that we need to write. So let me show you how to write it. You see, first one is a broke apart. Broke apart means break violently. That is the meaning. And the laptop broke apart when it slipped from the hands. So that is the sentence I have created. Similarly, streaked over means went over it quickly. A meter streaked over cloud in the night. The meteor struck over cloud in the night. Spread across that distributed over given area. That is the meaning. Pollution is spread across the world. Lifted off means start flying. Pilot finally lifted off the aeroplane. Then blast off means take off. The rocket blast off yesterday. Went on means to continue. He went on reciting his poems. Then cheered along, encouraged. Audience cheered along for their favorite participant. Onboard means participation. Children were on board for the picnic. Children were on board for the picnic. Carry on means continue. Scientists carried on their research work. Right? So this way you can write down the meaning and make a sentence of it. Okay. Let's see further. That is exercise C. We add U and to make opposite word. For example, true, untrue. Write two words below to make their opposite. Then look up the meaning of the word you have formed in the dictionary. Identified, unidentified. Control, uncontrolled. Attended, unattended. Successful, unsuccessful. Important, unimportant. Right? So that way we need to write down and you need to see in a dictionary. You see here unidentified, uncontrolled, unattended. This way you need to write down and you can see what are the meanings you find for that, which has not been recognized. That is the meaning of unidentified. Uncontrolled means totally free, lawless. Unattended means not looked after. Unsuccessful means failed. Unimportant, that petty, insignificant. Uneducated means illiterate or unlettered. Uninteresting, that is dull. Unqualified, that not having the qualification needed for the job. Untrained means raw hand without the necessary training of or experience. Unanswerable, that not fit to be answered. Right? So these are the meaning you need to find in a dictionary by your own self. Okay, I have shown here how you can find. you need to do by yourself. Okay, students. Okay, so let's see further then what is our next task, that speaking. In her message to student of her college, Kalpana Chawla said, "May you have the vision to find the path from dreams to success. Wishing you a great journey." Form pairs use may you and I wish you or wishing you to wish your partner good luck and success in sport events, a quiz or competition, test or examination. Be sure to thank your partner when she or he wishes you in turn. You may also look up a telephone dictionary or go to post office and get a list in English, Hindi of standard phrases that can be sent in a greeting telegram anywhere in India. Discuss which of these you might use and when. Compare the English and Hindi phrase for expressing good wishes. Do you know such phrase in any other language? So this task you need to do. What we need to do, what is requirement, that if your friend is participating in some quiz or sport event, how well you will wish him or her, right? That you need to write down. Okay, so let me show you what we can write here. You see here, I have wrote one. Dreaming is a common and natural activity of the mind when we are asleep. But the word dream also means ambition, a keen desire in a life. In that sense, I have a modest dream. I wish to qualify for the medical profession. To me, a doctor ranks next to God as a protector of life. He provides relief to the crying patients. He cures disease. He helps a patient recover from illness and be happy and live a full life. I wish to be a doctor to help the poor patient, to bring a smile on their faces. I know that my dream is not easy to realize. I need not only a brilliant mind but also the means to pay for my studies. Nevertheless, I am determined to pursue my goal. I hope to do well in the entrance examination. As for the financial help, I will get it from some bank. Okay, so I wrote here what I can write. That I want to be a doctor. Why we have wrote here? Then what are the problems is there? How can I overcome with that? That also is written here. So this way you can write or you can share your experience with your friend. That is the task here. Okay, sorry, this one you need to do. But here a writing, do you have a dream, and what you will write about that your dream, that you need to write. So that's what I have shown here, what to write for a dream. Do you have a dream? So in that I have wrote this point. Okay, I will give a title of writing. It is a task from writing. Okay, understood? Okay. So let's see exercise B, that is given below are some words that are spelled differently in a British and American English. Fill in the blanks according. See here, British English we need to write in this place, and English dictionary here. See, in this part we need to write a British, and in this part we need to write a English words. Okay, that is our task. So color. So what is the spelling of a color in America? That COLOR. Right? That is the spelling, correct spelling there in American English. So you need to find out what are the difference and what are the spellings. So let me show you. I have wrote it here already. You see, color, color, labor, labor, traveler, traveler, counselor, counselor, center, center, theater, theater, organize, organize, realize, realize. Okay, yeah, those R is little far. I have made it correct. Realize, defense, defense, offense, offense. You see how different it is in spelling. For color, you see U is there. For American, it is not there. For British, U is there in a label, but in American, it is not there. In a traveler, double L is there, but here in American, there is not double L. Okay, so this way, it is a different from American, difference between American and British English. Okay, try to identify other words also if you can. Okay, let's see further. That is our one poem, that is a beauty. What is beauty? You have a beauty, beautiful face, right? So we are not talking about that beauty. How people are beautiful. How is the nature? Okay. What is a beauty? Try to describe what beauty is, or list some of the things of a person you think are beautiful. And write down what are the persons you find are beautiful. Okay. Beauty is a scene in the sunlight, the trees, the birds, corn growing, and people working or dancing for their harvest. Okay, where you can see the beauty. For my poet way, that beauty is sunlight. Beauty is seen in the sunlight. Sunlight as a beauty, right? The trees, the birds, corn growing, and people working or dancing for their harvest. How trees, birds, and corn are growing, and people are working for their harvest. That is the beauty. Beauty is heard in the night. Wind sing. Then beauty is heard in the night. Wind signing, rain falling, or a singer chanting anything in earnest. Earnest. Okay. What is that? That beauty is heard in the night. In the night, you can hear the beauty. How wind is sighing, rain is falling, how rain is falling, singer is chanting, anything which ear can like, right? So that we call it as a beauty. Beauty is in yourself, good deeds, happy thoughts that repeat themselves in your dreams, in your work, and even in your rest. What is other beauty in yourself? That how you are well, what are the good qualities in you? That is the beauty. How happy thoughts you have, that is your beauty, right? And how you are getting your dreams, good dreams, how you are working, and all of these are your beauties, not your beautiful face. That we are not talking about here. Okay, beauty is our nature, and how is in surrounding beauty is there naturally. That is the thing is given here. So here in a poem, what you learn, that identify your beauties and make it a good shape. Okay, give it in a good way. Okay, that way you need to make your beauties. Okay, your beauty should be good. What are the beauties you should have? Good deeds, happy thoughts. Those are things you should have in a beauty. Okay, not a bad thinking and a negative thinking. That is not a good beauty. Okay. So who wrote this to our this poem? E. A. Shure. E. A. Shure wrote this poem. What poem? Beauty. Okay, I hope all of you understood this poem. Let's see some exercise of that. Working with the poem. The poet says beauty is heard in. Can you hear a beauty? Add a sound that you think is beautiful to the sound the poet think are beautiful. The poet yet said, heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter. What do you think this means? Have you ever heard a song in your head long after the song was sung or played? Okay, have you heard this kind of thing, that you are listening to music? Okay, or you might have heard a song, and after a few minutes, you are listening that song in your mind, or you are hearing that song in your mind. Is it possible? Have you happened with that? You, yes or no? Okay. So let me show how can we write. We find the melodious note of the cuckoo or the nightingale very pleasing to the ears. but that pleasure is still incomplete. We have a model of perfect beauty in our imagination, and we wait anxiously to hear our beloved's voice and the chanting of prayers in a holy place. We all look for perfection, a poetic phrase, idea, or expression hunts us all through life. Right? So, what it says? Yes, we can see what are the sounds we can our ears likes to hear, and where we go where we go there also like in a holy places are there for prayer, that also we like to hear, and our voice ear are anxious to hear our relatives or our beloved voices, right? So that is the meaning of given here in a poem. Okay, let's see second one, that read the first and second sentence of the poem again. Not the following phrase. Corn growing, people working on dancing, wind shining, rain falling, a singer chanting. This could be written as corn that is growing, people who are working or dancing. Can you rewrite the other phrase like this? Why do you think the poet used the shorter phrase? Can you rewrite this? Yes or no? I don't know, but I think we can. Okay, and we need to explain it in a short phrase. So let me show you what to write. Yes, yes, a few other phrases have been shortened in the poem. For example, stream flowing, baby crying, etc. I think the poet uses the shorter phrase for creating musical effect. Okay, this way you can give the answer. Let's see the third one, that find a picture of beautiful thing that you have seen or heard of. That you need to do. Okay, you find if you have seen any or if you have heard anything like that or beautiful pictures or song. Write a paragraph about beauty. Use your own ideas along with the idea in the poem. You may discuss your idea with your partner. So you need to write down about beauty. Okay, so what you can write down? So let's see here. Find picture of beautiful things you have seen or heard. Each one of us has a different concept of beauty in a physical form or in a thoughts and idea. Your experience may be different from your friends, so try to recall your beautiful scenes and sounds. Like this one, I already told you you need to do. And you discuss your idea with your partner in this. Question 4, write a paragraph about beauty. So what we can write? Our whole life is a made research for beauty in a different forms. Every fine art is a treasure house of beauty. Be it dance or poetry or sculpture, what the tribal people regards as beauty may look ugly to us. So beauty has as many forms as one can imagine, but nobody can fail to see beauty in good deeds, heroic action, sweet voice, and in nature. Right? So what it is here, that nobody will fail to see the beauty of good deeds, heroic action, sweet voice, and nature. Okay. Our culture also has some beauty, right? How we dress ourselves, that is also one kind of a beauty. How we dance, how is our poetry, that is also a beauty. So that beauty has a different forms. Okay. So this way we can write. Okay. So let's see further. Okay, I think we have finished our unit 4. Okay, so last what we do, we see spelling words, right? In the last we see spelling words. So first one is demonstrate. To show or make something clear, we call it as a demonstrate. Denominator, the number below the line in a fraction, we call it as a denominator. Department, a part of an organization such as a school, business or government that deals with a particular area of study or work, that we call it as a department. Departure, the fact of person or vehicle etc. leaving somewhere, that we call it as a departure. Then depth, the distance down either from the top of something to bottom, that we call it as a depth. Like our water tank is there. So in water tank, how deep it is, right? Or river, how deep it is. So from top to bottom, the length we call it as a distance. That we call it as a depth. Descendant, that a person who is related to you and who lives after you, such as your child or grandchild, we call it as a descendant. Disagreement, in argument or situation you are not having a same opinion, do not agree with that we call it as a disagreement. Disastrous, extremely bad or unsuccessful, we call it as a disastrous. Discussion, like we are discussing what we are talking, spelling words, right? So you are talking about something or some point or idea or opinion, we call it as that discussion. Distance, the amount of space between two places, we call it as a distance. Distributed, to give something out to several people. To give something out to several people, we call it as a distributed. Earliest, superlative of early. Superlative of early, we call it as a earliest. Early means happening or done before the usual expected time, we call it as a early. Okay, so here we have finished our unit 4. Okay, so what we need to do now? So you need to write down all the spelling word 5 times and need to write down all the exercise in your notebook. When school will start regularly, you need to submit your notebook. That is for sure. Okay, so write down all the exercise in your notebook and prepare for further exams. Okay, and remember all the spelling words also. Okay, thank you. We will see our unit 5 in the next lecture. Okay, again, thank you.